So you've started looking into peptides. Maybe you've already deep into it. And if you are, maybe you already know the problem. See, the catalog is massive. Dozens of compounds, BPC, Retatrutide, names that you've heard hundreds of times, and no obvious place and location on where to start. So where do you actually begin? Hundreds of hours in the research and years in the clinic, and I've used these myself, and it keeps pointing me back to one single thing. Another list won't help you. You need a system, a way to sort every peptide by what it does, and that's what this video is. The 20 peptides that matter, sorted into 8 different categories, and buried in here is the one that's almost pure hype, and one barely anyone mentions that might actually matter the most. So quick word, if you don't know me, I'm Dr. Jones DC. I run a clinic where peptides are part of what we do every day. My medical team handles the prescription line, and I handle the coaching and the protocols, what works, the hype, and what to watch out for. So here's how this works. So before we touch a single compound, one rule: peptides are amplifiers. You run them on a body that's sleeping well, eating, and training reasonably, then they do remarkable things. I see it all the time, but you run them on a broken foundation and they don't make things worse, they just don't deliver. You spend the money, you get a fraction of the result. I call this foundation first. Now, the system. Forget ranking peptides best to worst. That's the mistake that everybody makes. It's a picture board, at the center, peptides sorted by effect, not by which one is strongest and by what each one does for you. And if it all fits into 8 categories, get the 8, and you can place any peptide that you ever hear about. We'll start with the one category that everybody's already thinking about. So category 1, weight loss. The GLP-1s, this is where most people first step into the peptide world. So it's where we're gonna start. There's 3 names that you definitely have heard: Retatrutide, Tirzepatide, semaglutide. The biggest mistakes that people make is assuming that they're 3 strengths of one thing: weak, medium, strong. But they're not, they're 3 different tools. Let's start with Retatrutide. Reta is a triple agonist, and it works on 3 receptors all at the same time: GLP-1, GIP, and glucagon. Appetite and blood sugar, it's the 3rd receptor that makes Reta its own animal. The glucagon receptor. Glucagon does something that the other 2 don't. It turns up thermogenesis and pushes lipolysis, your body actively breaking down stored fat for fuel. I call this the glucagon effect. It's also why Retatrutide can nudge your heart rate up in a way that others don't. More receptors, more power. That's the headline that everybody repeats, but here's what the hype skips. The most powerful tool isn't automatically the right one. That glucagon activation needs a body metabolically ready for it. So you run it on a system that's already insulin resistant and struggling, and powerful quietly turns into stressful. And the eye-popping numbers that you've seen come from the trials at those max high doses, that's something real. But at lower, safer doses that people actually run, the gap between Reta and Tirzepatide, it starts to narrow a lot. So that's the Reta trade-off. 3 receptors, more upside, and more to manage. Reta is the newest of the 3, still in clinical trials, not yet FDA approved, but it's a real tool, not just automatically the best one. And then there's Tirzepatide. You might know it as Mounjaro or Zepbound. 2 receptors, GLP-1 and GIP. No glucagon though. Appetite suppression, strong, steady, predictable. If the food noise never shuts off, Tirzepatide is usually the answer. It's well studied, it's predictable, and it's still the default in our clinic. But the catch, for some people, it almost works too well, and you have to watch that you're still eating enough food. And then there's semaglutide, the original OG Ozempic Wegovy, the name that puts this category on the map. Just one receptor GLP-1, the most established, the one that most people start off with. The trade-off, it's the baseline the other 2 improved on, and for some, it comes with more stomach side effects. Still a real tool, the 1st generation version. So category 1, 3 GLP-1 meds, 3 different jobs. Not 3 strengths of one thing. The strongest isn't always the best. The right one matches your situation. Now, quick note before category 2, if you've got a condition in the mix, something metabolic, another medication, and your doctor doesn't know which peptides, here's what we do. We prescribe them through our own 503A pharmacy, and you get a medical team that's actually available when real questions come up. You can text them on the screen or use the link in the description to book a free discovery call if you want to learn more about how getting peptides from us actually works, and we do service all 50 states. Okay, so category 2, healing and tissue repair. And it's the one that I get asked about more than anything else. BPC-157, if peptides have a celebrity, this is it. And the internet has turned it into a magic heal everything compound. So let's be clear about what it actually is. BPC stands for body protection compound, a sequence that your own body already makes, concentrated down. It's not a painkiller and it's not a cure, but it does act as a repair signal. So think of it like a patch or more like a system-wide message. telling your body to ramp up the repair processes that it already runs. People use it for gut issues, tendon problems, soft tissue injuries that won't close out. So here's the honest version. BPC is genuinely useful, but it's a signal. It's not a guarantee. And it's only half the picture. It does its best work on injuries and tissues that doesn't get good blood flow on its own. And it works best when paired with the next compound, because what BPC doesn't cover, TB-500 does. So that's the partner. Where BPC sends the repair signal, TB-500 works on the structural side. It's tied to a protein called actin, the machinery that cells use to move. That's TB-500's job, getting your repair cells to actually migrate to the injury site, so the healing crew gets where it needs to be. You run the two together and you get the Wolverine stack. You heal fast, you recovery like the injuries in a hurry. The catch though, this is the exact pairing that people are most tempted to source themselves and run blind. And repair work in tissues that you can't see is exactly where guessing on quality can bite you. That's healing 2 categories on the board. Now, quick note, if this is the kind of breakdown that you've been looking for, do yourself a solid favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell, because there's a new one every single week. And the more that you stack up, the sharper that your map actually gets.
Quick minute, I want to tell you guys about the Flow Academy membership. Essentially, this is my private community on Mighty Networks. You'll have access to a community coach, live coaching calls that I do, which are unsolicited. I don't have to market like my free lives. I'm just there to help you guys out as much as possible. And a ton of free resources as well to guide you through the various protocols that I talk about in these videos. So all you got to do if you're interested in joining that is just become a member to this YouTube page. And then there's a link that you can access after you become a member that'll allow you to join the community. Now back to the video.
Okay, so category 3, growth hormone. And this is the category that I think most people get wrong, because they hear growth hormone and they assume we're talking about growth hormone, human growth hormone, but they're not. All 3 are considered secretagogues, a long word for a simple idea. They don't put growth hormone into you externally. They signal your body to release more of its own. And that distinction is the whole point. Inject HGH directly and you override your body's controls. Use a secreting agent and your body still decides how much to release and when. It keeps the natural rhythm, the pulse, that's built-in control. That built-in control is the safety feature of this entire category. Samorelin is the original, the OG, and the most gentle. The entry point. It nudges GH release to support sleep and recovery, and it's the one that most people start off with. And then you have CJC ipamorelin, almost always run together. CJC raises the baseline, ipamorelin adds a clean pulse to the top. Together, the most popular growth hormone stack for recovery, sleep, and body composition. And then you have tesamorelin, which is the specialist. It carries the most clinical track record of the entire group, known for one job: targeting visceral fat. That's the deep belly fat that's packed around your organs. If that's the goal, tesamorelin is the sharp tool for it. The real trade-off for the whole category, your body controls the release, is the safety feature, but it's also the ceiling. These work with your physiology, so they're steadier than HGH. They don't hand you HGH-sized results. That's the deal. And it's a fair one. That's growth hormone. Okay, next up, category 4, fat loss and exercise. And where I call out the single most overhyped peptide on this list. And right away, notice something. This is not category 1. Category 4 is a different animal. Those 3 are exercise mimetics, keyword mimic. They nudge the same pathway that your body switches on when you train. People call this exercise in the bottle, and that name matters because a bottle is not a workout. Now, back in the cold open, I told you one peptide here is almost pure hype. Here it is, 9604. But stay with me. The hype isn't the peptide. It's how people think it works. The story online is you take AOD and the fat just comes off, right? Like GLP-1s. You run it solo, no strategy, and most people are underwhelmed, and that's the hype talking. So here's what actually unlocks it, is a fragment of human growth hormone, the piece tied to fatty mobilization. And it does its best work when paired with the right conditions. You run it alongside therapeutic strategic fasting when your body is already primed to mobilize fat. And that same compound that did nothing before in the trials starts doing real work. AOD isn't a magic bullet peptide on its own. It's a technique peptide. The compound was never the problem. Running it without a strategy was. A quick cut check here. Before this video, did you think AOD worked all on its own? That one assumption is what trips, I think, most people up. MOTS works at the mitochondrial level. The energy factory is inside your cells, which is why it shows up in longevity conversations. It earns the exercise mimetic label as well as anything. But again, mimic, it doesn't do the reps for you. And then there's Sloop 332. Quick technical honesty. This one's actually a small molecule, not a true peptide. I'm including it because it does the same job and you'll find it grouped here everywhere else. And you'll find that most people group it the same way. Now it's studied for switching on the same machinery as endurance training. Newest thing on the list, early days, very promising and definitely one to watch. So category 4, exercise in a bottle. Powerful tools with one rule. They amplify the work and the strategy around them. Used right, they deliver. Now, quick thing, while we've got momentum here, this video is the map, what each peptide does and where it lives. But I already know the question a lot of you have. How do you stack these? How do you track them? Which one to combine? Which one do you run in sequence? Which combinations are a waste of money? If you want me to build that video up, let me know in the comments and tell me which category that I should start with next. Okay, 5, longevity. The anti-aging shelf. There's 2 compounds to think of, and the first one is one of my favorites on this whole list, GHK-copper. This is the copper peptide, a small copper binding sequence that your body makes naturally and makes less of as you age. It's best known for skin, collagen, firmness, the visible stuff. But it also acts as a repair signal and an antioxidant, calming the low-grade inflammation that quietly drives a lot of aging. So here's what makes GHK copper interesting on this map. It belongs in 2 categories at once, a longevity compound, but also a repair compound. And that overlook is why one of the most popular stacks actually pairs GHK copper with the BPC and the TB-500, known as the GLOW stack. The only real caveat, its benefits is the steady, compounding kind, not an overnight switch. Then there's epitalin, which is the longevity wildcard. It's tied to the pineal gland and your circadian rhythm, which is your internal clock. It carries the boldest anti-aging claims on this entire list. Things like telomere support, the protective caps on the ends of your DNA. Now here's the real read. The human evidence on epitalin is thin and usually run in short cycles. File it under promising and interesting. We've seen some pretty cool things happen to as well, of course not proven yet. Okay, so that's longevity. Categories 1 through 5 now up on the board. Category 6, cognitive peptides for your brain. And I get it. This is the category people are most skeptical of. Like, what can I really do for this guy, right? A peptide that makes me think better sounds like a stretch. So here's how to sort the 3 that matter. C-Link and C-Max, they come as a pair. Same research lineage, best understood together. Think of them as the calm and focus duo. C-Link learns calm, the edge off anxiety without the fog. C-Max leans focus, mental clarity, drive, the sense that your brain shifted gears. A lot of people run them together. One takes the tension down, and the other brings sharpness up. Now, dihexa, this is the heavy hitter and the one to respect the most. It's studied for something far more ambitious than focus. We call this synaptogenesis, the actual formation of new connections between brain cells, between neurons. That's freaking amazing, and that is a powerful thing to be reaching for. Dihexa is potent. It's early in its research, and it's not a, let me just try it casually on a Tuesday type compound. Big upside, and the most reason of anything here to want guidance before you run it. Okay, so we're 6 categories deep, and let's see if the map is starting to stick. If a friend said they wanted something for mental focus, could you tell them right now which category to look in and which peptide might be the best option? Take a second, think about that. If that came to you fast and the system's working, that's cognitive, 3 tools, 3 jobs, calm, focus, and rebuild. Okay, category 7, sleep and recovery. There's one peptide here, DSIP, deep sleep-inducing peptide. And here's the underrated job that I promised you back at the start. DSIP is associated with supporting deeper, more restorative sleep. Specifically, that deep, slow wave stage where your body does its actual repair work. Why I call it underrated? Not because DSIP is some secret miracle. It's underrated because of what almost everybody does. People go deep into peptides, chasing the exciting categories, fat loss, growth hormone, the brain stuff, and they skip sleep entirely. But that's backwards. Remember the very first rule of the video. Peptides are amplifiers. They work on a foundation, and sleep is the foundation. Probably the most important thing. And where your hormones reset, where your recovery actually happens, where your brain floods out all the waste and crap, where every other peptide on this board gets the conditions that it needs to do its job. You skip the foundation and you're amplifying less than you possibly could. That's why this quiet little category sits on the same board as the flashy ones, and why ignoring it is the most common mistake that I see. Okay, last category, number 8, immune, gut, and inflammation, is the most powerful on the board and the one where guidance matters most. 3 big compounds here, and we lead with the anchor. Thymosin Alpha-1 is a genuine immune modulator. It doesn't crank your immune system up, and it doesn't shut it down either. It actually regulates, it modulates, nudging towards balance. Your thymus, the gland that trains your immune cells, produces less of this as you age, which is why it gets so much attention for immune system resilience. And here's who's going to love this one. If you've got an autoimmune condition like Hashimoto's, rheumatoid arthritis, essentially your immune system is stuck in overdrive. Thymosin Alpha-1 is the compound on this whole board built exactly for that. This is the most powerful category on the map. And the serious end here, and that's exactly why it's the most exciting place to have a real medical team in your corner building the protocols with you. Okay, now KPV is the inflammation specialist. It's a small fragment of a larger hormone associated with calming inflammation, particularly in the gut, but throughout the entire body. Add KPV to the GLOW stack from category 5, and now you got something called GLOW, what people reach for when gut inflammation is the core problem. And then there's lorazepatide. It works on the tight junctions in your gut, which is the seals between the cells that line your gut wall. When those seals loosen up, your gut barrier gets leaky. Lorazepatide is studied as a tight junction modulator, a tool that helps those seals work properly again if the goal is gut barrier integrity. Now, this is the most targeted compound on this list for that job. All right, guys, that's the full map. 8 categories, 20 peptides, all on the board. Now, one quick thing before we close out. You got all 8 categories, but honestly, every one of them could be its own full video, a complete deep dive on growth hormone peptides, the longevity category, or the cognitive stack on its own. If there's one category that you want me to take all the way down to the studs, let me know in the comments the name of that category and what particular peptides excite you the most, and I'll build the most requested one next. So the map, 20 peptides, 8 categories, everyone sorted by what they actually do. But before I let you go, there's one question this video hasn't touched, and it might be the most important one of all. Where do you actually get these compounds from? Go looking for peptides we covered online, and you'll keep running into the same 3 words: research use only. That label is not the fine print. That product was made for a lab bench, or mice research, if you will, not a human body. Research use only means it was never vetted the way that real medicine is. Not for whether what's in the vial matches the label, not for whether it's sterile, not for whether the dose is right, or whether it's free of contaminants. That's the gray market. And here's the reframe that I want you to walk away with. The biggest risk was never picking the wrong peptide off this map. Every compound up here has a real legitimate use case. The risk is the vial. There are 2 versions of every peptide on this board: the research grade version, the gray market gamble, and then the pharmacy grade version made by a licensing compounding 503A pharmacy held to real standards made by an actual person. Same compound on paper, a completely different level of certainty about what you're getting in and what you're putting into your body. So before I tell you what to do with all of this, one last question here. If you decided tomorrow to actually run some of these compounds, do you actually know where it came from? Sit with that for a minute, because I think it matters more than any single name on this board. And if that question gave you even a second of a hesitation, that's exactly who we built this entire thing for. You came in with a pile of peptide names and no system. And now you've got the map, and the part that most people learned the hard way. The compound was never the risky part. The vial was. So here's how we solve that. A lot of telehealth clinics will write you a script and then just disappear. But we don't do that. Your peptides are prescribed and filled through our 503A compounding pharmacy, real pharmacy grade product, not a research site gamble, paired with medical team that you can actually reach out to. The prescription and the support are one thing. So here's your next step. You guys can text them on the screen or click the link out in the description to book a free discovery call. You'll talk with one of our patient educators, and they'll get a read on what you're trying to accomplish and tell you honestly whether or not they think you're a good fit. And they're going to walk through what it's like to work with me, the medical team, and how they go about designing your protocols. And you'll have access to the medical team whenever you need it. Now, one honest note, we provide oversight on the peptides that we prescribe. If you already got a product from another source and just want someone to help sign off on it, that's not what we do. And I'd rather tell you that now. And one last thing, if peptides got on your radar because what you're really trying to solve is stubborn weight loss at its root, text the same number anyway, because we run a coaching program built for that. In fact, that's actually what personally excites me the most, because I run that coaching team, and they can help point you in the right direction too as well. So we covered the whole map, guys. 20 peptides, 8 categories. Save it, use it, but a map tells you where things are at, not whether you're ready or not. So before you run a single one of these, you need to watch that video next, because is your body actually ready for the peptides? And that's what we talk about there. We'll see you later.